Hey guys, how are you all today? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Hey guys, how are you all today? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Happy Saturday. Hello, you want to come up in the box? I'm going to share this out a couple times.
What's going
How
on?
are you?
I'm good, sis. I finally get to talk to you for real,
I
for
know, that's why I was
real.
like, well, you come on.
Oh my God. I'm so proud of you though. Like for real.
Thanks. It's been a struggle.
I know.
And I've kind of stopped sharing so much. I mean, I've shared the process a little bit, but I've kind of stopped helping people just because I want to make sure I'm getting this right process. But I also wanted to tell people about it before I got too far and couldn't.
Right. Like,
It's
I'm still okay, so I still got some stuff to do. Like I have to go and do my I gotta get my trust not authenticated, but notarized.
yeah. Now for this part, you don't though.
I don't.
No, no, no. You just need the EIN for the trust, and you would
Okay, I got that.
yeah. So you need that, and then you're gonna set it up through the EIN. And I think I've started to figure it out a little bit better.
Okay, so I did my. I'm still working on the site because you posted the Postal Pro, and I was like, wait, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Because I had already set my EPS up, I think it's called. And it is active right now. I mean, I'm proud of myself for that. And so I was just wondering what else I needed to do. Like, do I need, because I didn't get the PO box because I don't know. Do I need a 9998 PO box or is the one
It can be a
that's
nine. So what you're gonna do is it's gonna be a 9998 PO box, but it's gonna be through. You're gonna go to the Postal One. It's not Postal Pro. It's Postal One,
okay?
and then you're gonna go and after your EPS account is approved, you're gonna go to the PO box, the business PO box that you can link up to your EPS account.
Oh, okay. Okay because I have my business account already set up. So do I go back there and get a post?
Well, you'll go to
Yeah,
the Postal One website and get it.
okay. Okay. Leah.
And then look what I found. So I don't think anybody's been able to find this yet.
Right.
Hold
Okay.
on, I'm gonna put it up in the screen because I haven't seen nobody else have this yet.
Okay.
Hi, Lovey. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
So glad to see you.
Always. Good to
You are
see
so
you.
iconic. Like I've been following you guys I'm new to all of this, but when I first saw you, you was just so full of radiance and just I was like, that's my girl right there.
I love you guys.
That's my girl. And then when Starseed came, I was like, yep, this my clan right here. These my people.
It's a good tribe. It's a high vibrational. I like it.
Yes, I loved
Yes.
how we had the whole panel of all females the other night. That was awesome.
I did get my it was like a confirmation email today that had my, oh my God, what is it? A CRID number and then the MID number. I did get
Yes.
that today. Yeah. That was exciting. That made me feel like, okay.
You got your MID. I got my CRID number in the beginning, and I don't know about the
The crit.
MRD.
MID is what is it? Mailers identification or something like that?
Oh, okay, okay,
It's
okay.
what they're going to
Uh-huh.
use because, okay, whenever they're processing remittances, it gets a special barcode on it and it tells them to process it through this certain avenue. Like they don't go in the same route, I guess. It's not the same. This is the paper that you have to submit, though, I found out. So y'all can't see it very well, but let me see. Hold on. See if I can change this real quick.
Is that the mail firm book thing?
Yes.
I have the mail firm book.
Okay, because they said they couldn't find it, or maybe it was Elena that said she couldn't find it.
If they go to the post office, they will try to, play that game, but you just kind of gotta be like, can I have a mail firm book? Do you guys have any extra back there? And, just talk to them like you already know, because if you have any type of doubt, they see that on you, they gonna play with you. Yep.
But I think if you say like, it's for accounting or like, I would just ask for it. And then if they do kind of like give you a, like a, say it's for, accounting, then they should be okay with it. But then sometimes you have, Becky in there that wants to play games. But then like the next time you go back, just ask another person and they may give it to you or even the postmaster.
Yeah, like I'm trying to like get really cool with them, the postmaster themselves, because they had us thinking, when we were growing up, like, ooh, it's so scary, you don't mess with postmaster. When really they are your directors and how you conduct, your financial, establishments. And it's like, my mom, she worked for the postmaster, you know what I'm saying? But I did not know that so they were so important in your life. You know what I mean? So I'm getting back to kind of being, I guess, comfortable, because as I was growing up, it's like, you don't do that and you don't do that, and oh, that'll get you in trouble and all of this other stuff. But I see all these companies breaking law, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is against the law. But you don't put two and two together until you get into studies like this, and it's like, oh, now I understand what that is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Is insurance. It's like backed by insurance protection. Like that's where you get your liquidity from. I don't know anything about finances, so I could be completely wrong. But I really do feel like you get your trust, you get insurance on your trust.
because they're asking me here about, okay, so that's what I wanted to ask you about. I'm glad I had this pulled up, because I did not understand this. They want me to have a corporate bank account. They're asking me, are you a financial institution or credit union? And I'm like, yeah, I am a financial institution, but I don't know whether I should put that
I'm
up or
still
not.
listening.
And then they're asking for the account type. It's either corporate or personal account. And then they want the bank ABA number. Is that where the Fedwire number goes, or is the regular bank account number or ABA number? And then my bank account number. So I was kind of confused about that process as well. Or is it just
Are you
straight
talking
up the
about the
bank account?
Fedwire?
No, for my ACH debit form.
Uh-huh.
I have my credit, right? I have all of my stuff filled out. And they're asking about the bank account information, right? So they want me to have a bank account. So maybe I don't know what I did, what I'm doing here, but that's what they were asking for.
So whenever I did mine, because see, I ran into that problem with the Fedwire, and that's why I stopped with the first process that I was going down, because I realized that I don't have $500 to get that ABA number right now.
Oh, you have to have $500 to get the ABA?
To get your own ABA, to become your own financial institution with an ABA number.
Oh, okay.
See, Elena, that's why I was saying if we go through, like, remember remember I was saying last night, like if I go through, and even if you guys want to join or whatnot, but if I go through the PMA, then I can go ahead and, start my banking and that kind of stuff. And then from there, then start to get my stuff. Cause I know it is expensive to start all of this, but I wanted to go ahead and like start the process, I guess. And then from there, then start to set up my own bank. But if we go underneath the PMA, we can go ahead and start to utilize and get the credits back, or a house or a car or because she's already got her bank and all the things set up, That's why I
Right.
was saying it that way. Yeah.
Like for people when they're filing their 1099s and stuff and they're getting these credits back from the IRS, is that kind of deal?
Um, yeah, but then like, you know how you said like the ABA is like $500 and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Well, if you go it like under the PMA, you can like use hers, so to speak. You're under that umbrella, like her
Okay.
umbrella. That's why I was saying that. Eventually, I'll end up, like getting my own, doing my own thing. But until then, I don't know. I just found like it was kind of smart to go up underneath somebody else because remember I went to Bank of America, got smacked in the face, and then I went to what's it called? I didn't go to it. I talked to a guy that's in a private bank or part of a private bank, whatever, and he made it seem like he didn't know anything that I was talking about, which was so rude because I'm like, yes, you guys do. Like, come on, you're playing games. And I just felt like I kept getting this pushback from everybody, is why I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go through the PMA, see if I can, access the things. And then as I am able to get the credits, because that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know if you guys hear me thrashing around back here, but once we send everything in, because the private side, you have to send everything in because they don't know who you are. That's why I was saying that about the negotiable instrument. You can't just send it out willy-nilly because it's private. And if it's private, yeah, the private side, they're like, okay, well, what is this? Well, if you're not recognized on public, or no. The instrument is private and you're not recognized in the private for using that instrument, you're going to get in trouble. So I'm trying to get recognized, and I've been printing all the things out today, but I don't know. Sorry. I'm just
No, you're
sorry.
good. I've got to go print a couple things real quick too, and then so I was looking at these papers on the Postal Service, like the different authorizations that we need to file in order for this to be legit and for us to be able to do the EPS system, even if you're approved and it's set, or like it's active and it's set up, like you still have to give them authorization to be able to process those payments and whatnot. So we need to make sure we're following all the proper paperwork with the right places too, or else it's going to get kicked back just like any other thing.
I didn't realize how much of a paper hoarder I am, though, because I've kept all kinds of stuff that I'm like, damn, like just things that like I should have thrown away, but I'm glad that I didn't now.
I'm with I'm with you. I have every security, like every security from every institution, like that has ever sent me anything since I've moved here. I have it. I have like bins of unopened securities. And so once this happens, do you know how busy the postal system is going to be?
Yes.
But now remember, guys, you can send everything in on the private side. Because remember, we're trying to get the private side to recognize us. Everybody in the
Right.
public side recognizes us as the debtor, you know? So if we can get the private side to recognize us, then all is Gucci.
So I was like, okay, so when we get ready to send in the forms, the 28, 48 and stuff, is all of that gonna go together? Do we need to send those one at a time.
I would send them one at a time registered.
Registered. Okay. Okay. I was just all
It'd be
right.
very expensive. Well, through your EPS account, it shouldn't be. Like, because the postage,
Okay.
even before you get everything like processed and through the postal, like the actual services that they provide are covered under that. Like,
Wow. So how? Okay. So give me a day. Tuesday. I go in there Tuesday. Early Tuesday, and I want to send in to the IRS my 2848.
well, here's the thing:
Um.
if you want to do that, you're gonna have to like you can order the stickers with your like registered stickers that have the registered number on it,
Right.
and then you would do it that way through your business and through you wouldn't go into the post office because they couldn't help you through your account. It has to be done online.
Okay. That's weird. Okay. Okay. I guess
Yep.
I'm not connecting the two.
So once you set it up, I think you can set it up online, like get your paperwork and stuff done for sending it registered, and you would still obviously drop it off up there. But in order to be able to pull from your account, like the payment from your account, it has to be done online. I don't know if you can do it later on in the store or whatever, but they're not very technological in the window. Like post offices have the oldest computer systems and all of that.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's kind of cool.
But I got some insurance for my business or for the trust. So I'm going to see about that and how that would, I feel like that would add, because if you have, say, a $500,000 trust insurance policy or whatever, then that would have to add some sort of liquidity to the account, correct?
I would think so.
I mean, because you can cash in on the account. You can make claims and files against it. So, I mean, I really don't know. I don't know anything about insurance stuff. I'm just going based off of common sense here.
The business customer gateway, that's what sent me the email. It was like eadmin at USPS. And it said the MID number, but it's also 9 digits. And then it says your home business location. And then it also has, you know how it has the zip and then the 4 at the end? I know like the 9998 and then the 9999 at the end of it, but if it's actually 4 different numbers, isn't that the account number that they're connecting you to? So it would
Possibly.
be the zip. Yeah, I think so. And then the CRID number is 8 numbers. Do you know what CRID stands for though?
Something registered intelligent barcode.
Registered ID maybe?
Certified registered intelligent barcode. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, it's D as in dog, not B as in boy.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why. Yeah. I wondered
Um,
if it was like credit registered ID.
maybe that would make sense. Yeah. Hold on. I'll look it up.
I'll look at it.
Customer,
Yeah.
customer registered, I think.
And then it says you've been granted access and it gives all these like incentive programs, intelligent mail, small business, mailing promotions portal.
It's the customer registration ID.
Okay.
You're amazing. Thank you.
I mean, you can ask that, but I've asked. They're not very helpful. Like in the postal office, like locally, they don't know this information. They truly don't. It's
Well, I
not
feel like
like
if
they're
they did, they wouldn't be working like that, you know?
like I
Like
can
if
tell
they
you
knew.
guys that my people works at least 12 hours shifts most days. And I mean, yes, it's a good job, but I promise you, they're not gatekeeping. They don't know this information. It's not out there. If they told all of their employees, think about how many employees that is across the nation, and then they would tell people, it would not have been kept the way that it has been. It's the main post office and the back office. Well, how do we get there, Bonnie?
Are you
I mean,
talking about the back office, like on the private side with the Treasury? Like the Treasury IRS back office peoples?
that would make sense
Uh-huh.
because I got to talk to the back office when I was messing with Fidelity.
Yeah. It says the MID number is a field within the intelligent mail barcode that is used to identify mail owners and or mail agents. So the intelligent mail barcode, I guess that's like a identifying barcode, I would assume.
And Fidelity, I do also have Fidelity, and they also do process remittances. I did speak with one of the, I don't know, bankers or whatever there, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. And he was like, yeah, he even taught me how to go in online into the, I guess if you have an account, you go online and you go through some, he taught me how to do it. He showed me exactly where it was. I don't forgot now, but it is definitely there that where you can upload, like you take a screenshot of, or you take a picture, like you upload a check, into the mobile. It's a mobile, place where you can upload your remittance and they'll deal with it from there. They know exactly what you're talking about. And go in there.
And you forgot how to do it?
Yep, they sure do. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we can most definitely help you with that."
I'm thinking like that this has something to do with that. Maybe not Nasara, but along those lines. Because y'all, I promise y'all, this information was not out here 6 months ago when I was looking it up and how to remittance and stuff. There was not manuals and shit that had remittance instructions. Or maybe it's CERN. I don't know.
Well, think about it, but think about the word discernment.
Yeah.
Discern. Discern.
So, like, are you talking like the down here in the comments, Bonnie? Are you talking about like the not the international, but like the big post offices that we have? Like, I know here where I live, all the mail has to go for like the surrounding states and all. They have to go through Louisville because that's our main post office around here. Is that what you're kind of talking about? Or are you talking about like mainer than that? Okay. So there's one close to me. Can I just go in there and be like, I want to talk to the back office? Postmaster? Financial postmaster? Because I want to talk to somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. So I can,
Thanks.
I mean, I'll go to Denver. It's cool. I need a vacation. Not really, but like, I could call up there maybe and would Louisville be one? You said there's 3. I know that's a pretty big post office for like Chicago or like Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee. You must be working. So I was reading about the rural mail carriers, and they can cash money orders and stuff, and international money orders. And international money orders, you can, that's almost like a bill of exchange where you can draft yourself. And I was wondering if we put them, like, gave them notice from the Federal Reserve in St. Louis, because that's where my basic or my Social Security stuff is.
You have an H? Elena, do you have an H?
Yes,
Yeah, me too. Are you in Georgia?
I'm in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, that anybody with an H on the back of their social is out of St. Louis.
Yeah, I have an H.
Yeah, me too.
I have
That's
an
just
H
weird
on
because
one
I
of
was
mine.
born in Georgia. You do, Lala?
Yeah. My first one was Philly.
Well, I found my Social Security card from my second ex-husband, and it's a K, I want to say. I would need to look at that, but I think it's a K. That's all right.
Wait, you were born in Georgia, right?
Yeah,
Do you have a picture of your birth certificate handy?
yeah.
Can you look at it for me and look at the bottom right below the barcode and tell me if that letter corresponds with your first social
Okay, hold on.
card? Because I just
Wait,
noticed
what?
that
Because
mine matches.
what do you
I
say?
wonder if that has something to do. I don't know. So in Georgia, we only have like the long form, the certificate of live birth, and at the bottom there's a barcode and an 8-digit. Well, it's 8 characters, 7 like numbers and 1 letter, and mine
Yeah.
starts with a C. And it just so happens to be that my first Social Security card has a C on the back. So I wonder if they correspond in any capacity.
Mine is an S.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve banks don't go up that high.
Huh.
But
we don't
I
have long
wonder,
form here.
well, but hold on, Lala. The next one that I had authenticated is a C. And then remember we got a couple of them. And the next one that I have is also an S, but the number's different.
Yeah, I don't think the numbers would be the same. I just thought the letter would be.
Yeah, I have one S as in Sam authenticated, and then I have one S that is not authenticated. And then I have one that is a letter C as in cat.
Did anybody else? So did the number on the back of your Social Security card, did it stay the same? Because mine didn't.
No.
No,
I got
mine
married.
changed too. Yeah.
Wait, did Bonnie say that she's the executor of her office?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been looking.
I
Bring
thought
her
that's
up
what
here.
y'all were just talking about. Like the Denver and the Denver and the DC.
She said there are some in North Dakota too. I'll go through my old work emails and see what address I can find.
The only reason I was asking is because I wanted to know if Bonnie, sorry if you're a guy, but I think it's a she, or not. I don't know. But
Bonnie is Truther that comes up here with us. That's in our group.
you say what?
Bonnie is
Oh, yeah, you
Truther.
did just change it. Okay, yeah, okay. You did say that earlier. Um, did you wait? Have you taken over? Yeah, okay. Did you take over your executor office with the post office? How about you? Okay, yeah. Did you do that?
Said she can't talk. Okay, I was gonna say, so she might take
Oh,
a
not
second.
yet. Okay. Because I've been researching that like crazy, and I think that the change of address form needs to be potentially attached to it when mailed. I don't know. I apologize. I thought you guys were talking about that.
With the birth certificate, is it the certificate of live birth?
If they offer that where you live,
That's the only one I have.
okay, then yeah.
That's the only one I have too.
See, in Kentucky, you can't get a certificate of live birth. Y'all, I started going through my change today because I was looking for specific silver half dollars, and I found several pennies worth several $100s, and I have like 5 silver half dollars that are worth over $500.
Dang, that's awesome.
But I don't even know where you would sell that.
Whatnot.
Huh?
What's that? Huh?
On whatnot.
What
Like
not?
WHATNOT.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have one of the like a huge, I don't know, it's like a glass, I don't know what to call it, but I anytime I get change or anything like that, I've been just throwing my change in there. I need to go through them, I guess.
There's
Oh,
an app
whatnot.
that you can get.
Yeah.
You just take
Whatnot
a
app.
picture. Well, no, this app, I don't know what it's called. Or, oh, never mind. You were reading the comment. But you can scan the coins and it'll value them for you.
Why not just keep them?
Well, yeah, if that's what you want to do. But if people are trying to sell them or trade them, or just to figure out how much they're worth.
The red or the blue coin book. That's the one that works.
I want some pre-1933 silver half dollars. Or any silver or gold backed.
Yeah, like, can we talk about if we're gonna go to like Bank of America or Chase or Wells Fargo to do our trust account, right? We going with, we have to fund it, right? I heard. So how do we fund it with the silver dollars? Like, what type of silver dollars? What's the year, the mint? I need to. If I go in there and I want to take some silver dollars, is that going to be sufficient enough? And what all I need to go in there with? Because nobody's giving out clear instructions from what I can see. It's just I'll throw it around, and I'm brand new. I don't know what to do, or how to sift through all of that.
I can't answer that. I haven't opened a trust with the silver certificates or silver dollars or coins or anything like that.
I haven't either. I opened my account regular and then I just retitled it. But I would like to be able to add, even the foreign currency to it. But from my gatherings, it's more, the denomination is more if you go to the private side. Like if I would to turn in my foreign currency back to the treasury versus if I were to go into Bank of America.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to just, because I've gotten all of my EINs. I haven't moved on them yet because it's still not like coming out clear with instructions, like step by step. And what you were saying, operating in the private anyway is going to be a lot easier and smoother to get something done. So,
Yeah, I feel like moving in the private for me, just because like I've been doing this since September of 2022, and I've just gotten so much kickback from the public side that now I'm trying to get my stuff together to just totally go through the IRS/Treasury and see how they respond to me. But if you have your trust EIN, then you can open up your bank account with that particular EIN. But remember, that's still you're in the public.
right, I would rather not. That's the whole
Yeah,
idea of being in the private is to stay private, and handle things in a much
privately. Yeah.
way. And so I'm glad that you spoke about that because I'm like, if I do it, if I just walk in there and I do that, I don't want no kickback and them asking all these kind of questions. But Fidelity, when I talked to one of the main bankers, the vice president actually I talked to, he was very willing to, help me with that, and he knows exactly what we're talking about. And sitting down, and he asked me like about my land and all of that stuff, and I was like, I'm talking about, a lot of land. And he was like, wow, that's sweet. And so he's willing to, help me with that. But like you said, you just make sure that you're dealing with things in a private manner, then going in there and just, saying, oh, I need you to do this. And they looking at you like you're crazy or don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I specifically got with Bank of America for the medallion stamp, literally. Lala can tell you that too. And then I had to wait 6 months. And then once I waited 6 months and I took my car title in there and then they scanned it in, they kept it, but then they told me that it wasn't approved for the medallion stamp. So that's what I'm saying. I keep getting pushed back so bad with anything in the public, so I'm just like, I'm sick of that. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the universe telling me to stop going through the public, and I know it's like a try again, but still I'm just like, ugh,
Wow, that was a big punch. That was a big loss. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. Now they have the title. So I'm like, okay, now that you have this security, are you already trading it? Are you trading it? Yeah.
Of course they are. What? They scanned it that immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it just kind of makes me mad because, I was gonna use that. But then even with that, like the lady there, Esmeralda, like I've tried to talk to her a couple times and I don't know if she's under an NDA. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe, but she's only like the bank manager and she's real proud of her, her spot. Like she's like, I've been the bank manager for 15 years. And I'm like, right.
And you've never dealt with securities the correct way, obviously. You've always been dirty handed, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it just audit the bank for my time. Yeah. Nanny, I've thought of that, honestly. And doing a 3949 to 11, even identity theft, because I mean, I didn't want to say too much to them. Um, as to like, because I didn't want to come off as a quote unquote sovereign citizen. Oh, it's like if you say certain words, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you're a sovereign citizen. Like, well, you're an idiot. So,
A citizen and sovereign at the same time. So that's how you
Oxymoron.
know that it's a lot of propaganda with what they're doing as well, with the media. But they know that if they put something out, you don't really have the power, the pushback to kind of defend what you're doing. And so it's like, if every news station get on and say the same thing, everybody's going to believe it. And, you just got to know, and stand your ground, because just like you were saying, you filing that 3949A, they're gonna have to upchuck it. They're gonna upchuck anyway with that. The whole system is gone. You're gonna shut it down with that right there alone. So
well, but I'm scared that they're gonna see that as a retaliation and then they're going to shut my account down. Can everyone see the live? You're paused, Starseed. You
yeah,
have a
you're
little cough. There you go. It's back.
yeah, there you go.
But were you going to talk about something in particular? I feel like I'm just talking.
Me? No, I didn't have anything. I was just coming on for a little bit.
Yeah.
Got my daughter to bed and was just chilling.
Yeah. Now, do you have a firm book, an actual book, or do you do the sheets?
Just the sheets. I'm working on. I can't get a firm book in the office. They refuse it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if my people will get me one though.
Yeah. When I was in Georgia, I went to the Locust Grove post office and I couldn't get one. They kept saying no. Well, then I drove up to Atlanta with Lala, because Elena, there's two Elenas now, Elena Starseed and then Elena Deek. But Elena Deek goes by Lala, so I'm like, okay, I have to separate them. But I was in Atlanta with Lala, and we went to the post office, and then they ended up giving me one. But you may just have to like ask around, I guess, if you go to other ones.
Yeah, but
Or
as
like
long
if
as I
you,
have the paper, I mean that's the important part. Because okay, so there's one that you send in beforehand. So that's your books that you're keeping. But then there's a couple more forms on there. So you would send that the other form in first, and then you would do your one that's like basically a cover letter for your remittance, and then your
yeah.
books.
And even if you guys like go on vacation or whatever, like if you go to like another city or even state, maybe pass by the post office and see if, take a quick trip, find the post office and ask if you can have one for accounting.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Keep getting these messages like emails, and I don't know if my husband set something up or if one of my kids has done this, but they seem pretty legit.
Dreams asked, do we have to change our status just to get the remittance of our bills? No, you don't. You can do it. I actually saw a video today that the guy was like, I think it was the Paths to Freedom guy, Caleb. It was like his most recent one, I think, and he was talking about the remittance, and even on the bills, he's noticed that like some of the bills, the verbiage on the bills have changed.
Yeah, things have definitely changed with all this stuff lately.
Yeah.
And
Where
I
did
swear I
you
do. I feel
start?
like it's part of that 20, what is it? The new, like bricks or whatever, but 2022, whatever it is. that Trump signed in.
Hmm. I saw that Robert Kennedy, I guess, is suing Google, but I noticed on the docket, I don't know. I'm so autistic. I think on the docket it kind of looked a little different. I can't wait to see JFK.
Did anybody else see where Trump apparently filed a UCC 1?
Yes, I did.
That'll be interesting.
Hmm. I don't know if it's real or not, but it looks pretty legit.
Right. And it would make sense. Yes,
No,
that
the
ISO.
2022. No, I do not have classes and I do not ever ask for money. And there's a lot of fake accounts out there of me impersonating me. So be careful if they ever ask you for money. I mean, you can mess with them before you report and block.
As far as I know, there aren't any fake ones of mine yet, but
Oh, there will be. I'm sure there are, maybe. But see, what they'll do is they'll be like, see how it says Starseed Problems 22? What they'll do is like Starseed hyphen Problems 22 or Starseed underscore Problems 23, you know, because like they've already duplicated my new profile.
what do they get out of that? Just getting people to send them money and stuff, or
Yeah, yeah, because I was in a group. Do what?
They charge for services. I got for $300 like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a group and I just happened to look over my phone. I got a notification and it said Lee Daniel is a scam. And I was like, what? So I clicked on it and I was like, holy hell. And it was because a fake profile got him for like $100 or something like that. And I was like, I promise you that is not me. I don't ever ask for money. I don't ever ask for likes or anything. I just don't ask. The universe will provide for me.
now I'll ask y'all to tap the screen on my live or whatever, but I'm never gonna ask anybody for no money either. Like,
Well, tap the screen is one thing because it also gets you out to the algorithm. You know, like the higher the better. Or even like you'll see
right.
me put For You page trending.
Yep.
You know, because like I want people to wake up. Even like I'll see Joe Rogan live and I'll be steadily putting in the comments 18 USC 8, all bills are prepaid. You know, just hoping that Trump was live the other day and his feed was going way too quick for anybody to catch anything that I was trying to say.
Right. Like, you gotta be.
Hmm. But even on like YouTube channels, I'll go to the comments and write like Brendan Joe Williams, onestupidfuck.com, you know, 18 USA, you know, I'm just steadily trying to get people to wake up because the more the people that do this, you know, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've gathered, I guess we have to be at like a certain percentage. I don't know who came up with that, but that's just what I've heard. Like a certain percentage of people need to be awake before they'll really like pull the plug.
Probably the majority of the people.
Right, right. But then you got your sleepers. Then you got your sheep. You still have sheep in this too that are just like so blinded. I'm like,
Yeah, but we're coming to a point where enough of us are waking up. I think that we're getting there.
yeah.
But it just kills me, the people that are like, oh, you just want to be lazy and not sit at home and not pay your bills. Like, bro, I probably sit at home and study more than you ever have in your whole fucking life, okay? Excuse my French. But I study and I read books and dictionaries and all that crap, and I'm constantly digging into some kind of rabbit hole. And like, just to wake people up, just to wake myself up.
Hmm. No, I like rabbit holes.
Me too.
Hmm.
I just
'Cause
don't
it
get
just,
how the majority of the people know that the government lied so many times and it's been proven, and to think that they're going to still not lie to you now.
well, I think people get very comfortable in the way that they're thinking because think about it. Think about the kid that went through high school graduated, went through college. You know, he's very proud of all his stuff. He's very, you know, he got validation and recognition from his family. Probably lacked that, but that was something that now he gets recognition for. And then he gets older, you know, maybe has a kid. He's in the 9 to 5. He's doing, you know, what is quote unquote the American dream, you know, slaving to the system. And then all of a sudden realizes that all of his bills were paid, that they gouged the hell out of him for college, that what he learned was half-ass. You know, like that really crumbles somebody's reality.
Oh yeah.
You It really shakes them to the core. So some people don't want, they may see it, but to acknowledge it and digest it is going to be harder. Because even if he acknowledges it and digests it, then it's like, okay, is my family going to think I'm crazy for thinking this? You know, there's so many things that I think go with it. So people choose to stay asleep. Or maybe it's like a closet conspiracy theorist. You're in the closet about it.
I'm just trying to figure out like all of these hidden private rules. Like there
Yeah,
has to be some sort of like private book
the three
with all these
percenters have
rules in
it.
it. Would it be like the secret baker's manual or something?
Yeah, maybe everything's accounting.
Yeah. And it really just feels like everything's insurance.
And taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when Trump came out and was like, I paid my warrant, I was like, accounting.
He said he paid his warrant. What?
Yeah, you just do the taxes on it. Just like a felony is like 2.5 million.
Who was telling
I mean,
me
I know
that?
that they're all bonds. Every court case is a bond. I guess I just haven't figured out how to operate in equity instead.
I think the tax form for the warrants is 843 on the IRS website.
843?
Yeah.
And that's for a warrant?
For warrants abatement.
Because think about it, like if you go into, let's say Olive Garden, and you sit there and you eat, then you're going to get this receipt. Well, think of the receipt as the warrant. You know, somebody has to pay it. And if you don't pay it, then you're going to have to go back in the kitchen and wash dishes. So if you pay the warrant, then you're fine. Your books are balanced, so to speak. But if you don't, you know, now you're in the back kitchen or AKA jail.
Huh.
Until that account's made whole.
You're back there washing dishes until your accounts. Yep.
That's why they keep you in jail.
Yep. But if you do the taxes and you do all the things on it, oh, abatement. Kiki's in here. Hey, girl. We were on the phone all day today. I have my ups and my downs where I'm just like spiraling, crying. It's such a flush of, you know, this is such a spiritual journey, and she tries to keep me grounded and tell me that. She's like, Lee, it's spiritual. And I get it, but I hate Satan.
Well, I believe a lot of it, everything starts in our brains, right? So, like, even any invention, all of it, it starts as a thought. Everything manifests from our minds, and we have got to be mindful of our thoughts. The collective of us have manifested this. I mean, because seriously, this information was not there 6 months ago that we're finding now. And people, I mean, spent their whole lives trying to figure this stuff out for years. So we have collectively manifested this new reality that's coming. So we've got to be mindful as we're going through it and face these challenges that it starts in our head.
Yeah.
Our brains, when we talk to ourselves, our brains process that as somebody else having a conversation with us. And we know that water, when we speak over water, it changes the molecular structure. So when we're speaking to ourselves negatively or like just having a really bad time with this stuff, it's really having an impact on our bodies, on our mentality, all of it.
Yeah, because I started down the rabbit hole with Nasara. I came across a little papaw that says Jasara is it'll roll out, but it'll be a longer period of time. But Nasara is for the nation, NASARA. And it was the transfer of wealth, but I was like, how the hell would we transfer it? Like, what is the transfer? And then I started working on my credits after I filed for divorce. And then I came across Tamara T. Bush on YouTube. And I felt like I started to kind of open up to this kind of stuff because I was like, wait, credits? Wait, hold on. And then I came across James Lovett. And then it was just the rabbit hole spiraling and into like my brain connecting things. And I couldn't understand what the transfer of wealth was because I was like, well, everybody's at a different like pay grade, or, some people did go to college, or some people are in more of a professional kind of like a nurse or an attorney, or even, higher paid job, so to speak. So I'm like, how would the transfer of wealth, how are we going to level the playing field? I boggled my mind for months on that. And then whenever I came across this, I was like, this is it. This has to be it. Everybody has a birth certificate. Everybody has a social. Well, what the hell are CUSIPs? Holy shit. We all have a CUSIP. And what's it connected to? Oh my God. And then the Federal Reserve, and we all have different letters. I mean, I'm telling you, I spiraled. I was on spin cycle for weeks.
I don't think that the letters have anything to do with where you're born.
It's just what the Federal Reserve that you're attached to.
Well, no, but I think that based off of wherever your standing is where your money is.
What do you mean standing?
So say I'm going all the way back to like land patents, what all you have in trust, still there. Like, I mean, I don't know exactly, but like just there are different levels and classes of, I mean, we're all the same, but like we're all on the same level, but at the same time, like you've got your people who have had stuff put in trust for hundreds of years that it's just been sitting there. So maybe it's got more to do with like.
Do you think it has anything to do with family bloodlines?
Yes, exactly. That's what, there you go. That's what I was trying to say without like.
Well, but the only glitch that my brain does is like, mine is an H, but then whenever I got married, it changed, like my CUSIP number on the back. Not necessarily the number on the front, the social per se, but the number on the back did. See, you have an H too, and one with a G. See in the comments, this E said, I have a social security number with H and one with G, and I haven't moved.
Huh.
See, I have an H too. Now do you think, this is just what I heard, but do you think that H is like the main hub?
Could be. I mean, because didn't somebody just say that everything was coming out of Chicago anyway? All the postal stuff?
Yeah, maybe. I think that's IAM that said that.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought it was Bonnie. Maybe it was, though. I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
I don't know. Yes.
But yeah.
E said yes. St. Louis is a Federal Reserve. Yeah. I don't know.
Because, see, my husband, he was born in the same city and everything as me, and his is a different letter, too. I heard that they like also linked to a different number. Like H would correlate to 8. to make that the routing number, I believe.
Well, yeah. So on the number, instead of an H, you would write 8 and then the number.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the birth certificate number is an account number, like your certificate number. And how did I have it figured out the other night? Hold on.
I think because on my birth certificate, I have three numbers and then a hyphen and then 2 numbers. The 2 numbers is 73, so that's the year I was born, and then a hyphen, and then I think it has 6 at the end. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe it's 6 at the end. But the 6 at the end is actually my number. The first 3, I think I want to say is 110. And the 110 is attached to like Georgia. It's like the region. I don't know. There's somebody told me that.
Where do we
Oh,
find
okay.
On
I'm
the birth
sorry.
certificate, top right, or I don't know what your birth certificate looks like, but the top right should have, actually, I have it right here.
Excuse me.
The top right. Yeah, okay, so it says, what's that word? I can't see. State filing number. So it's 3 numbers, 110, and I think that's because it's in Georgia. And then there's a hyphen, and then 73, that's the year I was born, and then a hyphen, and then 6 numbers behind it. So the state file number is actually the 6 numbers behind it.
Okay. See, mine is actually, so I have the 3 numbers, but mine actually has 1990. It has the full year.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got 5 numbers behind it.
Mine has 3 numbers, the 89, then 5 numbers.
But Elena, add all of them up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11 numbers, all of it, right?
Mine's actually got 12. Weird.
Mm-hmm. And then on the left-hand side of the birth certificate on mine, it's 4, and that's just a local file number.
But see, I had it figured out the other day where that would be like the account number, and then the routing number would be the other number on it. But see, we have different forms of birth certificates too, so that's because the other number is a 9-digit number on my birth certificate. Which I don't know. I have emailed the postal customer service department though, and I'm just gonna be like, look, can y'all just hold my hand a little bit more?
And then I wonder if our birthdays are actually right because the calendar's wrong. October should be 8, not 10.
Oh yeah. And November should be 9.
Mm-hmm.
So what would that? I wonder if we changed that, if that would have any make any difference.
I don't know. I think they have us so messed up. Like, I'm like, how many generations to come? Like when they correct this, because I have heard a couple things. I don't know if it's just, there's 13 months and 28 days. But what generation is actually going to be right? how many generations after us, so to speak. But because have heard that they're going to change the calendar back too,
Mm-hmm.
because we're actually 7 years younger than we are. So that would make me 44, not 50.
What is it?
It's the Ethiopian calendar,
Yeah.
not the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is wrong.
Yeah. Have you guys seen where there was a clock that had like 15 hours or something? What was it? I've only seen one picture of this ever, but it had, I want to say it was like 15 hour, maybe it was 13 hours instead or something. It was like Tartarian though.
I haven't seen that, but I'm not surprised. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole Rockefeller thing and Jekyll Island has just really screwed us up real bad. So that's what I'm wondering, like how many generations after us. I don't think it's going to be like, well, I was going to say the next generation. I feel like the kids that are like 5 years old right now, I'm like, maybe they would start to, figure this out and be like, you know what?
Hey Lee, I gotta ask you a question. How
What's
many
up?
accounts do you have? I'm sorry, how many accounts do you have out there?
Oh my gosh, I have one, literally this one, but I know that there's 10 that is the Libra Moon 73, because the Libra Moon 73 was my original one, and they duplicated it. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden that one, I had like 103,000 followers, and then all of a sudden I got banned. And then I started this one, and now there's actually, because it's my first name and then my middle name is Lee, and they spelt it wrong. That's how, if they spell it wrong, it's not me. They wrote Leiigh, and that's how they get you. So I will never ask for money. I do not have classes, and no, your dead ancestors are not reaching out to me to read you. Like I'm
I
like,
have a
no,
question. Do you do tarot card reading?
I do.
Okay. So I wasn't sure because I guess it was an old account, but I got so many like solicitations from I think what was you, but it's not you. So all right, cool. So
No,
I'll
it's
make sure
not.
that I save this account and then do the other ones, like delete them or something, because it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, how many are you? Yeah, no, they're scamming you.
I
Yeah.
didn't know you did tarot.
I do.
I
I
love
like
that so much.
I like dead people more than I do live people. I'd rather talk to the dead than the live people.
So have you ever done like HemiSync? Have you ever heard
No,
of it?
no.
Okay, so it's out of a CIA document from the Monroe Institute. It's where you sync both hemispheres of your brain down to like 7 hertz, I believe, by playing binaural beats, and it causes you to have like an out of body experience, like astral projecting.
Okay, you said hemisync. I thought you
Uh-huh.
said like something kinesis is what I started to hear, I think. Yes, I have heard of that. Even at night, I'll put on Hertz music at night if it's healing, or if like my body just feels like I'm drained of the energy, I'll put on, something, but it's HRZ for anybody else and like in the comments want to look that up. And it's
Hmm.
for anything. Yeah, if you have headaches, you can fix that. If you feel like, you have a lot of curses, generational curses, just bad energy around you, you can look that up. Kiki's back in here. She does tarot too. Bring her up.
I
Stop.
actually have a BQH session in the morning.
Ooh, that's excited. Get your Akashic records done.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah. I had my Akashic records done years ago from a lady that's in Canada, and it's good to like record it, because
Yeah,
a lot
she's
of the things that they're going to say to you, like may not transpire in the next couple like weeks or months, but it will in a couple days. Or I'm sorry, I meant years. So you just have to, like, if you ever get tarot readings or if you ever have like Akashic records done or anything like that, just like record it because things will play out later.
Yeah, I've got some questions to ask.
Yeah.
That was hard to come up with those questions. Like, I was trying to find them. I need to actually email the lady and send them to her.
Well, like, you don't, when you're talking to like a psychic medium or anything like that, anybody that can read your energy, don't tell them anything.
Oh, I don't. I want to make
Nothing.
sure it's like legit.
You tell them nothing. They should be able to read you. Even there was, I was on a live with Lustica the other week, and I guess he put up a picture of him and his friends. And there was one guy that was kind of standing off to the side, to the left, very far left. I guess he was like in a band. And I could tell that he had already passed. It was just his energy. But I had asked him about the guy that had like his pants were kind of low, but he had like a happy trail. It was really like probably the 80s. So it was real bushy. But I like Busch Gardens down there. But I had just asked him. I knew he had already passed. So when he said that, I was just like, I love dead people.
And yet I've paid over $90 and I'm still waiting on my 1 hour mediumship and my letters from heaven.
See, I feel like I have a connection with helping people pass over to the other side or something. Like I have a connection with
Me as well.
So you're like a bridge keeper.
Basically,
You help
like
people bridge over.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it was with my kids' great-grandfather. He passed the day after my 12-year-old's birthday because we spent the birthday next to him. We did her birthday cake and her gifts and everything right next to him in his hospital bed. And throughout the night, when early hours came of the morning, he was gone from us. And he actually came to me in my sleep, and I remember it 100% to this day, word for word, whether it be one way or another. He said, I'm here, or I made it.
That's pretty cool. See,
Yeah.
well, I started, if y'all have seen my videos that I have pinned, one of them is the story of how I feel like I've been unalived and I'm kind of living in quantum immortality because I've seen my obituary and I've had some really strange things happen. But there was a wreck on the day of that I made that post or whatever of a lady. She was on her way home from work, and when we were sitting there in the wreck, I told my husband what this lady looked like. I told him like the thoughts that she was having all day, like she just wanted to get home that day. Like I told him like her hairstyle, the direction she was driving, and like too much stuff that I shouldn't have known. And like a couple weeks later, we looked it up, and it almost sounded just like somebody took word for word what I told him in the car and put it in a newspaper. And that night, I kept having nightmares like, I'm dying. My husband would have to like shake me and wake me up and be like, babe, you're okay. Snap out of it.
You could have been picking up on her energy too, though.
I could have, but like my grandma, I was, I knew when she was not going to make it, and I laid with her in her bed until she took her last breath. Like, I've definitely got some sort of connection. I can feel it. I can feel death. I truly can.
I know I have dreams, and they're very specific, and they're either I dream of fish or I dream of pregnancy, and somebody that I know it always ends up that somebody is pregnant that I know. It's really crazy or really weird, and when I'm around them, I can pick up on that.
Well, when you get pregnant, though, there's several souls that will kind of be around the top of your head. They're kind of hanging out with you because when you're a soul, you want to volunteer and come down here. So before you go in front of, like, you interface in front of the creator, the Most High, you can kind of hang out with the family would be your family. Kind of like you want to go test it out. Like, okay, here are the parents, like say if I was, like say I was a little soul and I was flying above Elena's head, and I would say, okay, well, they live in, where did you say? Kentucky. And they're married and she's in college, and maybe I do want to come down here, and that would be my mom and dad.
Hmm.
And, like you can kind of, I don't want to say test out your family, but you can kind of see it. So a lot of times there will be souls that kind of hang out with you, little baby souls. I don't want
Hmm.
to say baby souls, but because the actual little meat suit that you choose, that's just kind of what it is. But your energy flies around the top of them. Because I can tell when people are pregnant, and that's what I see is I'll see like 2 or 3 souls that are kind of flying around the top of they're just around them,
Hmm.
waiting to drop in. And then that's also why sometimes like people can't get pregnant, where it's like, not right now, or this isn't good. Or sometimes there's people that have like miscarriages where the baby will be, the soul, let me speak properly, but the soul will be inside the mom, and then maybe the dad is really abusive, or maybe it's just not a good atmosphere, and the baby will tap out. The soul will
Uh-huh.
be like, not going in there. So the mom will have a miscarriage. But when we came down here, we did kind of see like a path, like, okay, well, this is going to be your mom and this is going to be your dad, and you're going to have these sisters and brothers, and this is what you're going to do. And maybe you're going to be a doctor, and you're going to grow up, and you're going to wake up, and then all of a sudden you're going to realize that Jasara and Asara, like you're going to be the one, you're going to be the black sheep.
Oh yeah, I
You
am.
already, yeah, so you already see your path when you're interfacing with the Most High. That's why people say you really can't get mad at your life. You kind of have to, see it and move forward, because, excuse me, you picked it. Like you picked your life, so you really can't,
Mhm.
you just have to kind of go with it.
Right.
That's why they say that, because you did kind of hang out above your mom or in your mom's vicinity, and you saw what kind of life you were going to have, and you were okay with it. So now it's kind of like you just have to deal, you know?
Hmm. I still
Hmm.
think it's rather weird that, when I do have them dreams, it's specifically of fish, whether it be somebody's fishing or we have got fish for pets or, some type of fish. It has to relate to fish or an actual person that is pregnant in my dream. And that automatically to me, that means somebody that I know or is in my family is pregnant. And the funny thing is, I did have one, the last one that I had was back in February-ish, and I just went to my niece's baby shower on the day of her and her twins' birthday, nonetheless. But I had another one that, based on a parrot reading, it's kind of weird to me that I had a dream similar to, and the person I've been trying to connect with that has passed. It's really weird that he was in my dream, and he told me before I could or had any room to say anything that I needed to talk to him about something. And he looked down at my stomach, and I'm like, wait, what? No. So it was really crazy.
Yeah, I didn't remember my dreams for the longest time. And then I had asked God to, like, come on, I really want to see my dreams. And then I started having really hellacious, weird, creepy, like icky dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I shut it off because I was just like, I don't want to dream like that. Like, come on. Why can't I have unicorns and butterflies? Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's just, like it does show us stuff, but I don't know. It's
I
like
think we've all done that because I
yeah,
don't usually remember my dreams either unless they're extremely vivid.
mine are gory. Mine are like heads on platters and demons flying around and
I
very,
don't remember
very,
mine.
very 3D shit.
Yeah, I haven't had them types of dreams in a while. I actually had a dream that I would actually be in this little cubby in my bathroom, my childhood bathroom, and like levitate or just start floating. And I don't understand it. And then there's also been times that I've been in my dream to where I've been like almost paralyzed, but I could see myself laying there and couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. Remember repetitive dreams that I have every now and again, them two specific ones. And I'm still trying to figure out the meaning of them.
So has anybody had any near-death experiences?
Me.
In a
I
dream?
figured you have.
So
Your handle Starseed clearly.
yeah. So when I was 17, I actually got into a car accident. I was driving out in the sticks of Kentucky, and my dad had told me to be home around midnight. And I'm like, okay, cool, Dad, I gotcha. I was about 2 hours away from home, and I left at midnight. So I'm like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get home. Well, I wasn't 5 minutes from where I had just left, and I was going around a really sharp curve, going about 70 miles an hour, and I ran off the road and hit a tree. I was by myself in the middle of the night. I had 12 staples going down my head when this was all said and done. I have mesh holding this eye in place. I have a metal plate on my chin. I knocked my front 3 teeth out, took a gash out of my knee. But so when the wreck happened, I hit the tree, and like, I guess I kind of came to, and I'm like, oh, this is a bad dream. So I got up and went into the back seat to take a nap, because I was like, well, no, I'll just go take a nap, and when I wake up, it'll all be better, because this is just a dream. So I got in my back seat and I went to sleep. Now, remember I said I had 12 staples down my head. I cut my head all the way back. My head hit the glass, the window, and shattered it. And something, I've always said it was an angel. I don't know what, but something woke me up, something that wasn't me. And yeah, definitely a wild experience. I was shown a lot.
Do you think it was an angel?
Or myself from another higher dimension.
Another timeline.
Yeah. So I've also seen. Have you seen the fairy that I caught?
No.
Okay, so this picture, y'all, me and my husband saw this like dancing light out in our field, and I was like mesmerized by it. Like, it was so cold this night that I went inside and put 3 pairs of pants on and 3 jackets on just to get the groceries out of the car. And we saw this light, and he had to drag me in the house because I was like mesmerized. Well, I had a video of it and you could see great, but I don't know if they were like communicating with me telepathically, but something in my head told me I had to delete the video. My husband's phone locked up. It wouldn't open after we watched the video until I was like, here, let me see it and I'll delete it. I deleted the video, and then his phone started working again after hours. But hold on, I'm going to show y'all this picture.
Yeah, they mess with electronics easily because they're energies, and
Yes.
our electronics are energy too. So anytime that I would go into the cemeteries, I would, my phone would always glitch, or I would be recording and it would just stop. And I'm like, oh, come on. And I had all my ghost equipment and all that kind of stuff set up, and it would just, I don't know, it would just glitch. But I would always get orbs. And you know how even in the Bible it talks about like rods of light. Those rods of light are spirit. And I would always catch rods. And then like even in my house, if I'm thinking to myself, or if I'm talking, oh, that's awesome. Yes, that's a fairy. I like fae. Yeah, I like the fae. The fae can be kind of sneaky too, though. They're very much like Tinkerbell. Like, they can be kind of pissy. Yeah.
No, look, we had our key. So right around this time that we saw this thing, we had our key to our car, we had one of those like little key finder things on it on the ring,
Like a key fob.
and yeah, well, we lost our keys with just the key and the key finder on it. Like the rest of our
Yeah.
keys were still on our thing. And I took a pendulum.
Look at her. She's talking about it and it freezes. You just froze. They're kind of tricksters too.
Okay, so where was I at? Sorry, my husband's mom came by real quick.
You're fine. The key fob. They removed your keys. They took your keys.
Oh yeah. So I went and got a pendulum because we were going on day 2 of not being able to find our keys anywhere. And I got a pendulum and a almost like a Ouija board, but not really, just like a pendulum board. And I asked the pendulum where my keys were. And I thought that it said towel. So I'm like, where's it? It's got to be in the towels, right? Well, I ended up making my daughter some food, and in between the stove and the cabinet, there was this little crack, and our keys were down there. If you look at stove and towel on one of those boards, it was all right there. But we also have a recording of whatever it was talking. And in the recording, you can hear it say my husband's name. And at one point, oh yeah, that people do going into Walmart on their little loudspeaker or whatever. If you slow that down and play it backwards, it says, hey, y'all. Like these entities were talking to us, just in reverse.
It's always reverse.
Babies actually
always
learn how to
where
speak
everything
in
is
reverse
backwards.
first.
And I think that's why I've always been dyslexic. And then I like to read from right to left. I feel like if they would switch it, because you know how these content creators are like, you just need to read. I feel like if they would flip it, I could read better.
Yeah.
My brain already goes to the right, to the left, but they switched everything. Like even our north, south, east, west, it's not right. Everything's backwards. North is actually south, south is actually north, west is, everything's wrong.
I
Everything is
just saw a
backwards.
video on that,
Yeah,
like
everything.
not even 2 days ago. And then the time as well. I know you guys, when I first come in, you guys were talking about time and how they're saying that there's 24 hours a day. When you actually do the math, there's only 22, I believe is
Yeah.
what they did the math on. I don't remember 100%, but yeah.
hmm My son is 32 and he's had so many, near-death experience. Like that child should be DEAD'd. I'm like, look, if you were a cat, you were running out of lives. You are running out of lives. He's done the same. He's smacked into trees. He's totaled cars. He's been on his motorcycle and slid down the interstate. I'm like, what? Come on, kid. But he's meant to be here. Somebody keeps saving him. He's just, I always joke with him and tell him, you're going to run out of bounces. You're not going to be able to bounce anymore. Like you just bounce right off the concrete. But I think that I'm approached by angels a lot too, because when I had my boutique in Georgia, I was just about to file for divorce, and your brain is kind of scattered when you're having to think of all the things because I have kids and just all the stuff, right? And
Right.
I was feeling kind of blue, but whenever you're in the public eye, you have to put your happy face on. And there was a lady that there was a coffee shop right next to my shop, and there was a lady that was sitting out there. Now, when I parked, I saw her, but I didn't think anything of it. And I went in, opened the shop, and she came in shortly afterwards because it was a beautiful day. It was in Georgia, and I had my doors open. Well, everybody through the shop, because there's a coffee shop, I have a lot of like in and out traffic and, just a good flow of traffic. And this lady came in and she stood, she was kind of doing her thing, like little shoppy shop. And we got to talking and I don't know, it always goes to spiritual because I love to talk about anything woo woo. I just love it. And she basically told me that she was told to cut. She goes, I've never been to that coffee shop. I think she lived in like Covington, Georgia. She wasn't even from McDonough. And she was like, I was told to come down here and wait for you until you got here. And because I didn't open until like 10 o'clock. I had like a late opening. I'm not a morning person. So it's going to be, if I'm going to open, it's going to be 10 o'clock. And she came down, sat there, and I think I thought she was I think she's an angel. I think she was an angel. We talked for hours and it was crazy because it was like, I resonated with her so much that like, she almost felt familiar to me. And,
I love that. I love when
yes,
people just feel familiar. Like,
yeah. And even when I hugged her, that felt familiar too, but it makes me almost want to cry. She felt very grandmothery. Like she knew what
oh,
to say to me. She knew like just when she hugged me, I broke. And I'm talking
oh
now
my
ugly
gosh.
girl cry. I just needed to break. And I would say maybe she was in the shop for maybe 2.5, 3 hours, but nobody came in. So it was almost like the Most High was like, nope, you need to have this conversation with this woman because the Most High probably, I'm sure that he knew that I would stop talking to the angel and go back to like customer service. Hi, welcome in, da da da, that kind of thing. And it's almost like I needed to have that conversation with that angel. She had to have been an angel. Um, and I needed to have that little pep talk with her. And, I don't know.
You
She
just
was,
reminded me of something. After you're done, I'll tell you because
no,
you
no, no,
might have
you're
missed.
fine. I'm done. I needed that. And for her to even sit there and say, I was told to come to you. She said, I didn't even know where I was going. And for me, I love that because that is truly being led by the Spirit. That is truly being led. You wake up in the morning and go, okay, God, or Most High, whatever you want to call him, or I honestly think the Most High is a female, but whatnot. But you're being led that day. What do you want me to do? Who do I need to speak to? How do I need to be guided? So
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Spirituality makes my heart so happy.
me too. But so I told you I laid with my grandmother till her last breath. It was she was my favorite person here on this realm. My absolute favorite person. Like anybody that's ever known me in my life, like personally knew me, they knew her because we were that close. And that morning when she passed, I didn't know it then, but I like to watch a couple people on YouTube that do like scrying with tarot and stuff added on. One of them in particular, she had done a video, like it had to have been posted within 5 minutes of my grandma's last breath, okay? Just so happened that the video that she did was on Pisces, and my grandma was a Pisces. So, of course, I watched it. Now, about a month before this happened with my grandmother, her dog ended up, she was old, she had diabetes. I ended up holding the dog until the dog passed away. And in this video, like one of the first things that happens, she's like, oh, there's like a dog there waiting on me. And then you could hear like almost barking from the ghost tube. And it was like, somebody's like letting me know that they made it. They're here. And there's a dog that wants to say thank you. Oh, and the dog was blind. And then in the video is like, I can hear you, but I can't see you or something. I don't know. It was one of those moments where it's like, that's too much to be a coincidence. It literally was posted like the minute that my grandma was gone.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely talk to you. They talk to you from the other side. You just, you have to be open to it and feel into it, and you can use your discernment to see, is it a good spirit, is it a not, because you do have shapeshifters, and you do
Mm-hmm.
have like lower dense energy that'll come in and like mimic your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I talk to my guides or my angels, we have certain things that, since obviously I'm human and I speak English, and yes, I can hear them, but I can tell when my guide, his name is Justin, when he's with me, he'll tickle my eyelashes. So I know he's with me. So, like, if you and I are, like sitting together, whatever, and like all of a sudden, like my eye, always my left eye, and he'll tickle the side of my lashes, and I know that he's with me. Or my a good friend of mine was killed in a motorcycle accident, and she always, like, when she would come into the shop and sit with me, and like say if she was on break or whatever, she would go, because where I was at had like a little eatery place and then the coffee shop, so she would like come, like walk down and like sit with me for her lunch break. And I would be sitting at the desk, and she would always like grab, how you like pinch somebody's knee, you kind of like, hey girl, and you just kind of squeeze the knee. Well, she's always done that. So when she passed, the first time I made contact with her, I felt that. So I knew it was instantly her. And, you just have to like create that communication. Like, I don't know what your grandmother does with you, Elena. Like, if there's like a certain thing that you just know that she's there, or maybe she just shows up and you just know that she's there, you know?
Whenever I'd start, the reason I asked you about the Hemi Sync earlier was because the first time I did it, after I got over being scared, I was in this, I couldn't see anybody, but I was surrounded by all of my past loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
And like, distinctly remember my uncle being like, huh, of course you're the one that made it here. Like, of course you're the one that came over here. Blah, like, well, duh. But I was actually communicating with that uncle through like a spirit box. And he had told me he went by Dirty, which is so weird, but I'm like, who am I speaking with? And it said Dirty. And then my husband, we didn't speak or anything, but he grabbed my uncle's ashes and handed them to me. And in the moment that his ashes hit my hand, he said, where are my ashes? And I was creeped out after that.
No, I love that. I mean, I don't know. I'm weird like that though. Cause like when we would go to the cemeteries and stuff, there was always. And then one time we went to the cemetery and we were it was an old church, and the church was abandoned, and it had like, how it has like pool doors, like the doors have little pools, and there was a chain through it. Well, I started to feel like you can feel every, goosebumps, your hair, everything's like, you could have shaved your legs that day, but now you have to shave again because your hair on your legs just grew because you had, goosebumps or whatever. Well, I was actually with my ex-husband, but had told my ex, I said, we need to leave. So we went to leave. And as soon as we passed by that chain, it gives me chills now. The chains on the front door, like, went bam, like, cha, and I was like, oh, and then I just started walking quicker. And at that time, now I'm praying. I'm like, okay, you guys do not come home with me. You guys are not allowed to, come home with me at all. You're supposed to stay there, because they'll stay. As soon as they feel like they can, oh, she can hear me, or, oh, I can make contact, they'll come with you. And you don't want that in your life, especially like if you go to like an antique shop and you buy a piece of furniture, like say it was a little like a hutch or something, and grandpa built that and loves that and is still with that, and then you buy that that motherfucker's coming home with you too. So you have to like set boundaries, like, look, I know you love the hutch, I love the hutch too, but if you are here to do anything wrong or negative, or just icky, like, you need to be gone. I'll take care of your hutch, Papaw, you got to go. But that one time in the cemetery with the chains, oh, baby Jesus in a manger, that shook me. That scared me. But yeah, I like that. I like talking to the people on the other side, and especially if they're good. There are some
My
bad
best
ones.
friend, oh, sorry. My best
You're
friend from
fine.
high school, he passed away. And me and my husband, when me and my husband first started dating, so way long time ago, he he took me to the cemetery where my best friend was buried. And while we were there, I took some pictures, to see if I could catch any orbs or anything. And I actually caught my friend's face in these pictures
That's
at the
awesome.
cemetery.
We went to one cemetery. It was actually that one where the chains on the door. And you know how the ones, they're really tall, they kind of look like a steeple, and they have like a little, like a wrought iron fence that is around it. Well, he was like, I don't know, he was like a colonel in some war or something like that. I should find that picture and post it on my TikTok. But you could see him. He was on a horse, but you could see like he wore glasses. It was so detailed that I just it just makes the heart happy. But he was buried there, and then his wife was with him in the little gated area, and you could see like everything, even down to like he was holding a sword, like he had it out in front of him, like he was da da da, that kind of thing. And it was just, it was so much detail. And then there was that same cemetery had like a little baby that must have died. And we had gone back to that cemetery several times because it was the most active, but the baby would always come forward too. But it was cool. Yeah, naturally, uh, yeah, it was wild. But I'll see if I can find the video and stick it up on my TikTok. But you can see it. He had glasses on. Um, he had like just a mustache, like a, what is it called? Like a handlebar mustache. The ones that like do the little twisties on the side. Um, and you could see like just so detailed. It was wild. But yeah, I love it.
So now, have you ever done like runes?
Yeah.
I
I
love
have
runes.
runes tattooed on me. Yeah. Like
Okay.
the protection rune. Yeah. I'm so
See,
witchy.
I started well, oh yeah, you want to talk about witches? So I was doing some deep dives on my family, and I found out that I have like 7 generations of people that were in witch trials in my family, like grandparents.
Not that I love that for them, but I do love that. Like,
I
because
love it too.
well, but I think that the reason why that they targeted them so much is because they were telling the truth. And then also they were bringing natural herbs and medicines and doing Reiki energy healing and things like that. And I feel like the government or the people that were in charge did not like that.
Yep.
Yep.
I just
Because
think
even
it's so
now,
evil.
me too. Me too.
No, at that point you were called crazy and put in a white straitjacket and thrown in a padded room.
If you didn't,
Well,
if you were lucky, that's what happened.
Right.
right.
That'd be our days now. Matter of fact, they told
Well,
my youngest one's aunt that they actually put her in a straitjacket, but she had been listening to her, I believe, cousin or half sister. Her name was Kat, and at the time, my my daughter's dad had went to pick her up. We went over to like Kalamazoo area in Michigan, and we were gonna let her stay here until she started talking all kinds of stuff, and then it just didn't seem right. And now I'm actually wondering what the heck I was thinking, because I don't normally do stuff like that as far as passing judgment. And turns out that stuff is actually pretty dang true. So, yeah.
Jennifer comes in with, I'm in the iPostal site signing up. We've been talking about witches and ghosts and all the things, and she comes in with, can we get back on subject?
I'm not saying that. I was quietly putting it in the chat so y'all could keep talking about it. I was just
You're so
thinking
cute.
that just a yay or nay, just that's all I need.
Are we gonna learn tonight or no?
But I'm not. I like the conversation. It's just fine. I was just. That's why I put in the chat because I was like, let them keep talking, so I don't bother nobody.
No,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
cute.
If
multitasking.
anyone
Sorry.
sees my question, maybe they'll answer me. But no, I am. I just finally found out how to get on here. I mean, my computer's been cutting out on me bad. My battery's horrible, sucky. Like it literally is about to die pretty soon. I gotta take it back or figure out why it's doing this. It's one of those Macs, not a computer. It's a laptop, but it's one of those Macs. It won't hold a charge for nothing. It's been on the charge for 4 days and it's got no bars. So I'm like trying to get it done. I finally got on here. I was like, oh crap, what is this international forwarding? What does that mean?
I don't even know that I had to do anything with that.
Well, maybe I don't because it just has these two little boxes. One says international forwarding, and then the other one says office buildings, and then it says I'm choosing my post office place where I want it to be. That's what it said to do right away. Pick your post office, which I thought was weird because I didn't see that on when you were doing the thing when we were on live the other day.
Yeah, I didn't have to.
But why does mine say iPostal 1 on it, not USPS Postal 1? That's what yours said.
Right. I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm not
I
even
don't-
probably at the right spot. See, this is where I get all jacked up.
Here, I'm gonna
bet you I'm
send.
not. I bet you I'm not on the right site because that's what my MO is. You manage postal mail 24/7. That's what I clicked on. I hate the computer, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take away from your witchery stuff.
You're fine.
You're fine.
I just think it's cool.
But I did
mean,
think it was very interesting that you said that you had some witches that were burned at the stake. I'm just joking. I didn't hear that. But you said they went through the trials. That would be interesting if that was in my family. I would be totally looking into that.
I'm related to the first one that was ever burned at the stake.
What?
She was my grandma.
Okay, maybe I was hearing it telepathically from you.
Oh.
Probably.
Well, back then, if you were in the trials, you were on the stake too. So
So
There was-
telepathically, isn't that the same thing as telekinesis?
no, kind of, but no.
Has anybody heard of telekinesis?
Telekinesis is moving stuff with your brain.
Yes,
I can do that.
Just moving objects with your brain.
Myself.
Telepathic is when you can read
The way I
people's minds.
walk and the way I do things.
All right,
Yeah, I
'cause
can do
that's
that. I can
Oh
move
my
things.
That's
Hi,
the
Peggy.
stuff that said cousin was talking and
that's
getting
amazing.
her, my daughter's aunt, into believing and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I shouldn't have been the one judging because it wasn't my place. And knowing that there is other realms, and my beliefs are a little bit different, but a little bit farther off than hers. So she was ahead of me in finding all this information out, I guess.
I can do telekinesis. I can move crystals and stuff like that, especially if I've carried the crystal with me for a while. So it's an energy that it recognizes
Hmm.
and I can move it.
I
Oh, you
created
can
a
move
window
them with your
getting broke.
brain.
Yeah. On my
Like-
last, I think it's gone now. I don't think I have that video, but on my last TikTok channel, that was like, it was a pinned video. And I held up a crystal and then I move it with my other hand. Yes, a pendulum. Oh, okay, yeah. I know. And you know what's funny? When I got arrested, I had my tarot cards and my pendulum and all that kind of stuff with me. So the guy, I know. And the guy had to go through my purse and had to like account for everything. And he held up my pendulum and I just stared at him like,
Look.
you just got cursed.
So
Ooh, selenite.
when I got arrested, they were like, I had my crystals in this little pouch with me,
Oh,
right?
it's dangerous.
They're like, what is that? And I'm like, it's my crystals. And he's like, what kind of crystal? I'm like, the fuck? But he was insinuating some other things.
Oh, yeah.
No.
What kind of crystal? Meth fucker.
Right.
Right?
I actually got this box of crystals the other day, for like 50 cents.
Where'd you get it from though? Be careful. Like sage
Well,
it
it
out.
was from Bidfa. It was like they do pallets and
Yeah.
auction stuff.
Just be careful.
Yeah, these
Like
are
sage it or stick it out. Stick them outside. Because think about it.
I
Even
buried
if you,
them,
oh, even better. Even better.
and it was on a full moon. So yeah.
Even better.
Well, yeah, I still need that email address too, Lee. Along with I have Booker's book. I don't know if that has the information in it that I'm seeking.
Oh. What do you mean? What was I? Did I promise you something and I didn't pull through? Okay. What was
Last
I
night
supposed
you,
to give you?
yeah, last night you said you would take in some of your emails so I can transfer them files over to you so you could look through them for
Oh,
me.
you
Because I'm
did.
struggling of which forms that I really need for taking care of my loans, the loan settlements, which I've had for a little while now. So I'm trying to figure out, because I know that there is where did it go? Accord and satisfaction letters and a bill of exchange. I need to figure out which one that I need.
Okay, I just sent you my cell number.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because I don't get on TikTok for like, I don't know, for like messages and stuff. Because I
Right.
do get so many of them. I would just
Oh.
rather like give you my cell number.
Right, yeah. After posting that, the bonds that I took a picture of, the ones that I could find and whatnot, that it was up to like $900 and some dollars, I started getting people that were favoriting and liking and everything of my videos that were Chinese. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this today. And most of them only had like one video up. I'm like, block.
Y'all, I'm just saying, like with the negotiable instrument, you have to be real careful. Careful. I don't care
Right.
who. I mean, I know I got into a ruckus with some guy the other night, but just you cannot. Ooh, I love that. What is that? Crystal quartz?
Yeah.
You cannot take a private instrument into a public place. You can't. That's what I got arrested for.
Right.
I took a private negotiable instrument into the courthouse. The courthouse is a bank. The comptroller is like he should have known what to do. And on the instrument, it said void where prohibited by law.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have just handed it back to me and told me to get the hell out of there, but they didn't. They arrested me. So that's why I was so adamant the other day. I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And now he's talking shit about me to other people.
Right, of course. So I
I'm
did
like,
find other information about like repossessions and stuff. It's basically 10 questions. Well, not 10 questions, but there's a couple of statements and then like 7 questions or whatnot. And it's basically they want you to submit an affidavit following 10 statements. Well, that's not 10 statements actually. It's questions and statements. And then it says, you can make in your own affidavit to make a bank prove that they have a contract with you and force them to cease and desist from all attempts to repossess a vehicle or evict you from your home because it's the contract that's giving them the right and you are going to question the contract. So basically, number 1 is the plaintiff claims that there is a contract between myself and them. I require to be shown proof of the original contract and evidence of exchange in accordance with the requirements of contracts, especially the requirements of consideration. Number 2, it says the plaintiff alleges that they provided me with a certain amount of bank credit as the consideration they provided to secure the contract. I require a full description of this bank credit. Question number 1, which is number 3 in the affidavit. Where did these credits come from? Provide evidence. Number 4, what in reality do these credits represent? Credits of what? A measurement of gold and amount of silver provided evidence? 5, did the plaintiff possess the asset represented by these credits prior to the alleged exchange provide evidence. Where the assets, number 6, where the assets represented by these credits acquired by lawful means, provide evidence. 7, if the plaintiff cannot provide sufficient lawful answers to these questions pertaining to these bank credits, how is there any proof of consideration made by the plaintiff? Provide reasoning that is faithful to all men and women's rights of equality and equal protection under the law without any special privileges. Number 8, if there is no proof of consideration, how is there any proof of exchange between myself and the plaintiff? 9, if there is no proof of exchange, how is there a contract between myself and the plaintiff? 10, if there's no proof of a contract, doesn't it follow that any claims or entitlements granted by this non-existence and illegitimate contract and should be dismissed by law?
And I would say, and if so, please instruct me what type of payment, of lawful payment, that you would like me to pay for this alleged debt. What type of payment? Because they're going to, only lawful is gold and silver.
Right.
So when they come back and say fiat, wrong answer. I like
Okay,
that one.
so
That's Tiger's
if
Eye.
so, please provide me with.
Yeah, please provide me with, what did I say?
I missed it.
I know, and I said it just rolled right out of me. Hold on.
Lawful currency.
Yeah, please provide me what type of lawful currency that you would like me to pay this alleged debt, because it's an alleged debt.
Yes.
So what type of lawful currency would you recommend me paying this alleged debt, sir? Tread lightly. Rude.
Type of currency would you recommend?
I think I'm gonna dive into the word, like what gives coins value. I mean, obviously the silver coins, they're valued based off of the silver, but like I feel like there's something bigger there that I'm missing.
I think we give it value. It's like
Well,
when
we
you
do.
sell those coins you're talking about, all those coins that are worth $500 or whatever. They're actually only worth what someone's going to pay for them.
Well, true.
So
Look on eBay.
We make the coins and currency worth what it is, even though it's stated it's 10 cents, 20 cents. But you got a penny that's worth millions out there right now. A penny.
Pennies.
And
Most
there's
pennies are
people
at least
willing
worth
to
2
pay
cents.
for that.
Yeah,
What's
it's some
that?
type of wheat penny.
For
It's
the
a
rarity.
steel penny. There's a steel
steel?
penny that is out there that is worth $1 million right now.
Huh.
Damn.
One penny worth $1 million to the person who's willing to pay $1 million for it. Me,
Yeah.
it's a penny.
Do
You
they
know?
accept a promissory note?
Right?
Will they accept my negotiable instrument? Yes or no?
Right. Who was that? Jennifer that was doing those questions that you were just helping out with? Was that Jennifer that was doing that, or who was
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah.
Are you going for a mortgage?
Y'all know
Or
what? There's no way I did this wrong. Thinking
What's
about it.
doing?
Okay, so I tried to do the authentication of my birth certificate, and I'm sitting here looking, and no, I filled out the exact freaking paperwork that had the exact address. They sent it back to me and told me that I didn't send it to the right place or something, but like literally on the application, it has it on there.
Just take it to, if you're close to your state's capital.
I'm not.
Okay.
So what if you can't read your birth certificate anymore, and it's like looks like it's been through like
What are we
18
doing?
fires?
I went down and got a new one.
Is
Get
that what
another
you
one.
do? Because I got an original, and I hate to give my original up or not have it because it's original, but I cannot read anything on it barely. I mean, I could read a little bit, like your dad was a vacuum salesman, you know,
I
and
got
Well,
my
I
old
no.
one.
Just go to vital statistics and get another one. You're allowed to have 10 per lifetime, I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
okay, so I'm gonna do that because yeah, I think I've heard that same statement that you're allowed 10 in your lifetime. But not sure. Vital statistics. Okay, I'm writing this down.
It's expensive to go through there though. If you can just go to your county.
Well, my county where I was born was San Bernardino, California, and I'm in Indiana.
Okay.
What do you mean, Elena? What do you mean go to your county? Can you really do that? I've never done
Yeah.
that.
So Michigan, their records division is our county building, our county clerks, which is normally inside the courthouses, depending on what city you're in. So like Bay City, their county building is separate from their courthouse. Tuscola County, their birth certificate records are and death certificates and things like that of that nature are inside their courthouse.
Yeah, and look,
Anyone
still-
get that certificate? Like if my mom passed, she did. Can I just go get one of her a death certificate on her?
you have to order
Yeah.
it,
Yep.
and then you can cash it in.
Yeah, I'm looking to do all that.
And can you do that with all of your family members?
Yes.
Yes. So round up them dead people.
Round up them dead people. We
All
know
the
a lot
people.
of them in my family. There's a lot of them.
I don't have a lot of death in my family, which I think is, I don't know.
I didn't,
I don't
and then
have-
all of
don't
a
have a
sudden,
lot
in
of
3 weeks, I
immediate.
lost 3 grandmas.
Yeah, I have a grandmother, an uncle, 2 uncles, and my mother. But I'm talking about like all of my genealogy peoples. Like down the line, they're all not
Yes.
around anymore. So I got a list of like 30 of them.
Yeah, and you can find,
outside.
there's a lady, oh my gosh, what is it? J and A.
Yeah,
Y'all help me in the comments. J and yeah, she'll actually
DNA
help you.
research. Yeah, that's her
Uh-huh.
name. DNA research. She said
need
she would help
her.
me out. I just got to get a hold of her one of these
Yeah.
days. Right now, I'm dealing with my mortgage thing. That's why I was asking who was doing that questionnaire thing. 'Cause it sounds like they're doing a mortgage thing too.
Yeah,
But-
your questionnaire sounds good. That's like discoveries.
Yeah, I want a copy of that.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I need a copy of that, but I did see someone that recently posted a video that had almost all those questions on there.
You can
I thought I saw
post a
a
copy of
YouTube
that
video.
in my Telegram.
Your what?
My Telegram. I was saying if she wanted to, she could post a copy of it in there.
That would be nice if she's willing to share with the class.
Somebody's asked if has anybody done it with his death certificate. I haven't. I'm still
No.
working on my birth certificate. I sent one of my birth certificates into Janet Yellen, which honestly I don't even think she's still with us. I think she ended up at Gitmo and then pew-pewed. But I don't think she's with us. Whoever her successor is.
Uh-huh. Did you say you were gonna send something to me, Starseed, about that postal thing, or did we
I
get-
put it in the comments. I can put it.
I didn't see anything. I put exactly what you put in my computer. USPS Postal
No.
1. with
No,
the
just
que-
postal
the
1
exclamation-
exclamation.
Oh, okay. Let me see if that works.
There, I put it in the comments again.
Okay, I'm sorry I missed it. I was trying. I don't know why I didn't see
It's okay. I think you were talking.
Oh, then that's why I can't talk and listen or look at the same time.
Me either. I can't do anything.
I'm just playing. I'm playing. I just wasn't looking at my. I don't look at my phone when I'm talking most of the time. I was looking at the screen on my thing. Postal.
So what is the affidavit of cure and consideration?
Well, there has to be a consideration because it's contract law. So when you go in to make a contract, like, okay, so let's say you realize, say you're with Verizon and you realize that Verizon's contract
Screwing
is
everybody.
super deceptive. Yeah, literally. And so when you start to rescind all your contracts and you're rescinding you're basically, say you're Verizon, Siberian, right? You're Verizon, and I'm coming back to the table and I'm saying, hey, I think your contract is a little deceptive and I didn't realize it at the time, but I'd like to go over this with you and then I want to rescind my contract. At some point, you're going to take that contract off the table and then now we're just standing at a table. So I need to come back with my private consideration, like my contract of how I want to do business since I'm the original creditor. And so I would now lay my contract on the table between us, right? So that's the consideration of it. And then the affidavit is truth. So you're saying that this is true. I understand that, the Verizon, let's say the Verizon bill is already paid, per the Sestake Trust, per the 18 USC 8, 31 USC 3123, all the things, right?
Right.
Well, in that contract, now you can make the stipulations that you are on a no bill, no pay. You can also make that like it's almost like your terms and conditions now, because you know that you're the original creditor. So you're also going to say, I want the dividend, say your Verizon bill is $100 a month. I would like that dividend to be deposited into this particular account. You make your stipulations, and every time a new iPhone comes out, I want one mailed to this address, this PO box. And I will mail back my old one, kind of a thing, like, because you have to give consideration on both sides, and I'm allowed to add, 2 lines. Maybe you're only using 1 line, but that's the consideration. You're just kind of putting it all out there. Like, maybe I only have 1 line right now, but just in case, I can have 2 other lines. You may not use it, but you just want to go ahead and throw that into the consideration. So just remember, when you're resending your contract and everything and your signature and all the stuff, it takes everything off the table. And that's why they're closing a lot of y'all's accounts.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what letter to send to these people that have my hold the lien on my vehicles, and what letter to attach the repossession affidavit that I just read off. So I don't know if that's
I would also have your like terms and conditions, your new contract sitting there.
Oh, and then that would be the thing that we just went over, the cure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have 3 times to cure it.
Okay, so it would be, what would the first one? Okay, so let me form these letters. Let me take notes of the letters that I would need, which would be a bill of exchange. Or is it too late in the game for that?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you need to have your bank, your private bank set up before you start to do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
If
That's
you
what I was wondering.
Well, if you contact the CFO, the indentured trustee, just remember you're doing everything on the public side.
Right.
So if you're all on the public side, and then I would almost write the negotiable instrument or the bill of exchange with a letter of consideration to the Treasury. Like I don't want to even mess with the public people anymore. Like, now that I'm learning so much in the PMA that I'm in, like, I don't even want to mess with the public, because, and typically private people stay away from public people, because yes, it is true that you can work private and public. That's fine. But there's a lot of people, like the PMA that I'm in, the owner, she doesn't do anything in the public. And it blows my mind, because I'll be talking to her. I'm like, okay, because I'm kind of scared to word certain stuff to her, because I know she's totally private. So it's like, how do I say this to her? I'm like, I know that I get on your nerves, but I have a question,
Right.
So, and then she always says same thing to me.
Hmm.
Why are you in the public? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I
I
don't
don't
know
want
how
to
to
be
get out of
there.
it.
You get out of it by not dealing with the public. So think about it. Where are you at? The CFO and the indentured trustee is what? That's public. So if we had to communicate with somebody, who would that be? That would be the Treasury and the IRS. That's private. Because that's where your funds are essentially. So why are you even going through the Treasury? It's
Right.
kind of like if you wanted say you're a teenager and you live at home and you know you're about to ask your dad to buy you a car. Why would you go to your aunt? You would go straight to your dad.
Right.
Right. And then you're gonna have to come up with a grand ass story as to why you want a car. Like, hey
Yeah.
dad, so I've been thinking this is what I want. And I feel like if I get that, then, then maybe I can get a job and I'll help pay for gas and maybe half of the insurance, right? So you have to go to dad, not your aunt. And I feel like the aunt is the indentured trustee and the CFO. That's the aunt and uncle. Why am I going to them? I'm not even under their roof.
Very interesting. Yeah, I don't want to deal with the public anymore either. I'm done.
I'm so done. I keep getting arrested. Damn it.
And you just don't seem like the type to get arrested.
Oh, I know. When I told my
First time
friend
I
I had
went to jail, I cried in the drunk tank and was like, I don't belong here. I'm a princess.
right?
I did. No, I straight up did.
Well, when I got arrested, I was standing there. This is going to be so graphic, so hang on, y'all. But I was standing there, and the girl in front of me, she went into the bathroom, and the lady, the guard or whoever the hell she was, she went in there with her. And I was like, oh, shit, and I'm like, this is the spread the butt cheeks part, I'm like, oh, shit, because I've never been in there. So I'm just going off of movies, right? So, and then I heard the girl, she coughed twice, and I was like, oh, holy God, like, I'm going to be so humiliated. Like, nobody needs to see that at all, So when I tried not to even make contact with her because I didn't want her to call my name or say like, you're next or anything like that. So I just stood there like, no eye contact. Don't make it. Don't call my name. And she came out with the girl or whatever, and then she just walked right past me, and I was like, there is a God. Nobody needs to see the brown eye. Nobody needs to see that. So I was mortified because I was totally waiting for that to happen, but God was with me that day.
Oh, goodness.
Kiki's in here. Yes, it was horrible. My little starfish was going to be all exposed. That's horrible.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to. I actually got illegally searched one time, like invasively searched. If I wouldn't have been so young, I would have like filed charges, but I didn't know any better.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I used to totally back the blue, but now it's just, now that I know better and I see how they act and like even how I was done, it just makes me kind of sad because I'm like, I was
I guess
so
I have more
blind.
respect for the sheriffs than anything. Well, than any of them, not anything.
So funny thing, after I get all this stuff situated and I become part of the private, I have a homemade flagpole that I actually stick in the side of my bed of my truck. And one of them, like you were saying, you used to be about the police and support of them and whatnot. I actually have a police flag. And after I do all that private stuff, I'm going to fly my flag just to see what happens.
With your private tags, flagging
With
it.
my private
Hell
tags,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's going to be great.
I'm gonna have to do a video of it, 100%.
So now, are you doing like private tags through the DOT or?
Probably not. I haven't even authenticated myself yet. I keep procrastinating, and I don't know why. But as I was saying last night, I think I was getting gaslit from the county building, and when I had asked them for a letter of exemplification, they didn't know what the heck it was, and they did find a form that I didn't have, and they gave me that, but I don't know. I haven't even looked it over, to be completely honest. I've been busy with remodeling the house.
What if you only authenticate on the state level? You don't get the back to full faith and credit, huh?
I don't know that. But
Well,
remember,
I know-
that's still public side. Everything you're building
True.
your company on the public side. Kiki has drilled that in my head. She's in the comments. The Live Rights PMA, that's the PMA that I'm with. She says they are contracting and utilizing administrative statutes. Yeah, it's not even law. So when a cop pulls up behind you with his blue lights blaring, that's actually, like in Florida, it's actually a misdemeanor, third degree. So they're committing, yeah. And then some states, it's actually a felony.
Yeah, don't they have to be in pursuit of an emergency to use their flashers?
Yep.
And
Yes.
the code for Michigan, I saw that it has to be a blue light or it has to be a red light. But they have both, blue and red.
I wonder what that does.
And it makes sense that like the fire truck would have them. Obviously, that's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
An
just for the
ambulance?
cop to pull you over, no. And then I've actually heard that he has to have a warrant because he's making legal decisions on the side of the road. And then I've heard that he can do all his stuff on a public, like right of way or road or anything, but if he's on a private like property, he can't. It's almost like you're safe.
Right.
They don't have jurisdiction. Well, never mind. That's for like land patents and stuff. But
They're
Well-
not authorized unless by the property owner to utilize their parking lots and such.
Yep. And see, when
Just like
he
if there's
pulled,
an accident on a private property, they can come out and take a report, but there ain't much they can do about it.
yep, because
But
the
this
cop
is-
that
Go ahead.
that cop that pulled me over, I was coming off of a traffic light, and then I just turned in because I didn't want to obstruct, traffic or anything like that. And I pulled over into the Walmart parking lot, and I got arrested.
Yeah, that's what everybody does, to my knowledge, or at least that I've known, is they pull up and out of the way, whether it be in a private parking lot or whatever. But I also
Yeah.
heard that they have to have an indictment from the grand jury to even pull you over or arrest you. Which I think it states that clearly in our Fifth Amendment. I actually posted a video and I broke the words down so that way people could understand them and the meanings.
Well, and it's also, what is it, Fourth Amendment, the search and seizures and all that kind of stuff. Like, I followed a guy the other day. He was on YouTube because, like, all of my stuff, my algorithms are nothing but police now. And I'm like, baby Jesus. But no, they don't have to. They're not just supposed to identify you. Some states, they may request that if it has to do with traffic. But say I'm on the road or whatever and I'm just walking, I don't have to identify myself. But even so, like I gave my passport, and he got big mad.
Oh yeah. Well, I also seen somewhere, and I don't remember where, so it may be incorrect, but a driver's license and social security cards are not forms of identification.
No, because if you look up the word driver's license, it's actually a license to be able to do bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
anytime you're licensed in anything, it's not lawful.
Well, I tried to tell the officer that. I know we're not supposed to be educating on the side of the road, but I was really trying to get myself out of those handcuffs. I was
Right.
like, sir, I have a right to travel. Sir, you are stealing trust property because they took my car.
Mhm.
You know, I'm like, you're really violating trust property right now.
They get big mad at me when they arrest me and put me in cuffs because I don't ever stay in the cuffs. They can cuff me behind my back and they end up in front of me, and I slip out of them because my wrists are so small.
I have a bracelet that is a handcuff key. I would never do that because my husband's got an escape charge, so. And I know that just got him years.
Mm.
It didn't help nothing.
The cop that arrested me, he put the cuffs on, and then he asked me to go stand next to his little cruiser, his little boat. And so I did or whatever. And then he came back to me and he like tightened them. Like now they're cutting into me at this point, and I'm like, you're a dick, bro. He looked like Sheldon off of Big Bang Theory.
I would have requested going to the hospital and then charged them with it, made them pay the fines or the hospital bill.
Well, I had a huge gash in my leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's paid itself for everybody.
Anytime that there's blood or injury, you can request to go to the hospital and be treated.
And then that would take up all your time.
And then also too, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but if a police officer does pull you over and you comply or whatnot, they have to have an RAS, which is a reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime committed.
Yeah, I asked what that was, and he said it's a traffic stop. And I was like,
That's
right.
That's not a crime. Is
I
there
know.
an injured party? Because a crime, there has to be an injured party.
Yeah, I told him that too. I think I pissed him off. Like I was bruising his little ego so bad. And I wasn't being hateful or even sarcastic, because that's not the time to do that.
Right.
You know, but I was kind of like, fun with flags.
Oh, I don't know if the question got answered last night or not, but does the American jurisprudence outweigh the Black's Law Dictionary? It's American jurisprudence. Hold on, let me find it real quick. American Jurisprudence, Legal Forms 2D, Westlaw.
I feel like Derek Gonzalez would know that. I love to listen to him. He's so badass. He just rattles it right off of his face.
What was this? This was from backdated to. They got a newer one from 2021. But this is law books, is what it's pertaining to. That's why I was asking. Holy crap.
Siberian's Soul's Realm said Black's Law should be the definition for the to go.
Okay.
For
So then I'm assuming that the American jurisprudence is laws.
Yes.
Okay. I did end up ordering, I'm pretty sure it was a paperback, Black's Law Dictionary off of Amazon, because the hardcover disappeared. They only wanted 40 some bucks, and then I go back and check my cart because I wasn't ready to purchase yet. I had so much stuff in my cart. And that item is no longer available by that seller, but I can buy it for a few $100s from other people.
Well, and look up like used books too.
Yeah, I
Look.
tried that. I even
Oh
went
my-
to Barnes and Noble. They have absolutely nothing on the Constitution. They have nothing about law. They have nothing about legal forms. They have absolutely nothing to help anybody.
Of course. Look at what Lori said in the comments. It says a sheriff deputy ran over my son. My son was on a motorcycle in November 2023. My son is in prison for 2 years.
Oh my.
Meanwhile, he ran over him.
I'd be appealing that
Yup.
for sure, and getting the body cam footage and everything.
I'd be pulling that officer's bond.
I'd be suing them. Oh, this is
Wild. Lori,
federal
that's
civil
wild.
criminal subs.
Broke his jaw and his ribs. Holy hell. They're horrible. Like I said, they're all down my timeline, and I really have to get them off my timeline because it's putting a lot of fear into my little heart. And and 5 deputies jumped him after that. Oh my gosh.
And of course, if his jaw's broke, he can't freaking talk in court.
And his ribs, and then they jumped him? Like, bro, I have broken bones.
The ribs are painful as hell, but trying to talk when your jaw's broke, they probably had it wired. There wasn't no way he was going to talk.
My husband almost was unalived the last time he was in there because he has seizures really bad, and he told them this going in. They refused to give him medication for almost 3 weeks. He had over an hour seizure, and they were just leaving him there. And then somebody
Epilepsy?
jumped him. Huh?
Is it epilepsy?
No, we actually don't know what it is. He had never had a seizure until about 1.5 years ago, and then he started having them like daily.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
could
my
get him
daughter.
for negligence.
Yeah.
I can't get anybody to take the case. And I would do it myself, except going against the state with no educational background in law and no
No.
money to fight them.
Elena, I would go
Study.
over their heads. That's public. I would go straight to mom and dad, Treasury,
Yep.
IRS.
Hmm.
I would write up all the things, like real, very specific, very everything.
And then look, when he left the hospital, because they finally took him to the hospital, they ordered him his medications again. And then I had to go, end up like days later, I went to the pharmacy, picked him up, took him to the jail, and it was still like 4 days before he got them.
That's crazy.
And they were,
That's negligence.
what are they called? Life sustaining meds, not just like Tylenol or something. It was life sustaining. Can't even talk.
Yeah, my 5-year-old didn't start having seizures until her grandma decided, with whatever privilege was granted through her dad, my daughter's dad, to vaccinate her. She didn't start having seizures until after she was vaccinated with the Tdap.
Oh wow.
They're called febrile seizures, but I've never seen her have one. I've always been called after she's had one. She's always been on her dad's time.
Try a heavy metal detox for that.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yes, I was just
I gotta
thinking
look into that for sure.
for real.
It's just some sprays you spray on your tongue every like couple hours or some shit.
Do you know
Or
what
you
it's
can
called?
do chlorophyll or activated charcoal.
Yeah, I did see charcoal. But she's got an issue. She's on the spectrum. She has an issue with feeling, like textures.
Mushroom. You can do like not even the psilocybin kind, but you can get like hot chocolates or these little oil droplets of mushrooms, and that works for not just the detoxification, but it'll also assist with the spectrum.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all the garbage that her dad allows her to eat. And I've been
Yeah.
trying to tell him for years. And before I first got pregnant, I was into the health and stuff like that, going through researching natural remedies and herbs and essential oils and all that. And I made him very, very, very aware. And I made it very clear that she was not to be vaccinated. So whatever forms he filled out and allowed his parents to treat her and take her to the doctors, they decided, okay, well, she needs to be vaccinated. It was pretty crazy. And when I found that out through her mouth. At 4 years old, she told me about that.
Ain't nobody giving my kid no vaccinations on nothing.
I don't know.
when I was working on my lineage stuff today, I was going through like all the kids' papers and everything, and I was telling Kiki this earlier. I was like, damn, like I felt like I was such a good mom because I had my kids vaccinated growing up. Now, mind you, they're adults. Like my oldest is 32, so and my youngest is 26, but I felt like that was the right thing to do. Like, oh, I just want to safeguard them. And I was so indoctrinated and such a sheeple, you know, and I'm looking back through all of these, you know, like all these vaccines that I openly gave, you know, my kids. And now I'm just kind of like, damn, I'm just shooting them up with toxins and chemicals. I'm surprised they don't twitch.
Mhm.
Do you think they were always as bad as they are now?
The
What, like
vaccines.
Yeah.
yeah.
Over the years, I think they have become worse,
That's what I think too.
but they're still blocking agents and harmful chemicals and
Yeah.
crap that they're putting into our body, regardless. Just like the fluoride that's in our toothpaste and everything else. I haven't
was-
allowed dentists to put that on my kids' teeth in years. Like, absolutely not. It causes learning disabilities and blockage.
I was just going to say that. Actually, toothpaste has rat poison in it, so it'll keep its shelf life.
Yep. Shampoos and conditioners also have, basically, they have antifreeze in them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, chemo is mustard gas.
Well, and even like I used to work at a hair salon when I was in Georgia, and I started to kind of go, damn, all these like the bleach blondes, you know, they sit there for hours trying to lift the color out of the hair, out of the pigment with bleach on their head and everything. I mean, I did it too. So,
And
you know, yeah. And then they were even saying too, which I totally get this, like all the extensions and like the wigs and the wiglets and stuff like that we're seeing, you know, because like I have a bunch of friends of mine that wear like extensions and stuff like that. They're actually cut off of DEAD people. And you know how your hair will hold a frequency or a vibration. So if you wear that wig all the time, or if you have those hair extensions clipped into your hair all the time, you're going to start to take on that energy of the lady that had it,
right.
you know, had that energy. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh. And I'll come across TikToks that, you know, that maybe the girl is advertising, you know, wiglets or, you know, falls or whatever they're called, you know, whatever their wigs basically. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
You know, I've always had the biggest fear of somebody else getting my eyes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I wonder if that happened in past life. Maybe if somebody did that to you.
I
And that's
don't
why
know,
you're,
but I've, like, you know, organ donation and stuff.
yeah.
Like, I used to be signed up for it. I've since retracted that, but I was always, no, you're not getting my eyes. I told my mom, I'm like, you better not ever let anybody have my eyes. Just, I don't know what it is about it, but I think in all of my past lives, I was unalived through fire.
I've always been scared of heights. So I've actually wondered if, because like planes and stuff like that, like high mountains and like cliffs, like people that'll jump off of cliffs and stuff like that, kudos to you. That is not my cup of tea. You know, like I think I either fell out of the sky, maybe plane or cliff or something. I don't like heights. It makes, I don't know, I can feel the blood leave my body.
I don't like them either, but I don't like fire more. I had an imaginary friend growing up. Y'all can judge me if you want to. But it was like my best friend, and I was an only child growing up. So like my mom said that I would walk around all the time talking to this imaginary friend, right? Then one day she's like, well, where's your imaginary friend? And she's like, and I'm like, she burned up. And my mom said I didn't ever talk about her again after that.
My youngest daughter had an 8-year-old boy that was burned in a fire, and he was always with her. And as she grew up, like in age, he didn't. He always stayed the age of 8. And he would follow her around because when we lived in South Georgia, we lived in Eastman, and we had 10 acres. Well, we had 2 barns. So she would go out and ride her horse or whatever. And the neighbor kid, because we had 10 acres, so the houses sat really far apart. And the neighbor was like, "Who was the little boy that was with you?" So she actually saw the little boy too. But like Grace, her name is Graceland, my daughter. And Grace would be driving to school, and the little kid would just like show up in her passenger seat. Or like if she had a friend, sometimes like he would sit like in the back little area, because it was like I don't know what they're called. There's like little suicide doors where there's like a little back area in her truck. She had a truck, and he would sit back there, but only she could see him. But he followed her around forever. I don't know if he's like still with her. She's already graduated college and moved on and that kind of thing, but I don't know. He always stayed at the age of 8. I guess that's like when he died, so that's where he stayed. But it was kind of cool, I guess. At first he scared her because she was like, "Who the hell is this kid?" But over time, I'm like, he knows that you can see him. He knows that you can hear him, so he just, maybe you're very comfortable. Your energy is very safe to him, because he's a kid. So, yeah, Focus Point says many people have a fear of flying or high. I do. I do. Like if I have to fly and go anywhere, like we need to run by the bar. I need like some Jim Beam and some Coke, just real quick, just a little bit, just ease my ass because I just get so much anxiety. Like I know that this plane is about to crash and I'm going to be in it. It's like a little tin can flying in the sky. Yeah, I don't know. Like my mom had a house out in Nicaragua, and it was like a really long flight. And she's like, "Come out here and visit me." I'm like, "Hell no. You're gonna have to give me a tranquilizer or something." Like, "No, ma'am. Put me under anesthesia for 24 hours." Like, "No, ma'am." See, well, Focal Point is a pilot. So said, "I'm a pilot. It's how I keep my sanity off the ground." Yeah. I mean, what do you do with people like me? Give me an extra pack of pretzels or something? Like, bitch, stop crying. I can't. Give me some alcohol, something. Sailplane. Ativan? Okay. I don't take pills and stuff like that, so I don't even know what that is. Is that like for ADHD or something? Yeah, you're gonna have to knock me out. I'll cry the whole time. I'm such a water sign. I'm a Scorpio, so and my rising sign is Pisces, so I have a lot of water. See? And even with that, like we were talking about the calendar earlier, Scorpios are not water. Like our all of our signs are off. All of our zodiac is not. It shouldn't be 10. It should be 8 because it's October. OCT, like octopus, 8 legs. you know? So I'm kind of like, why is Scorpio a water sign? It's not even a water little bug, you know? Like, why is that? I can see where Pisces is because it's the two like little fishums.
And you're talking about with the Gregorian or the Ethiopian
Ethiopian.
calendar, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it said mine got switched to a Libra or some shit.
I like Libra. That's my moon. Are you? See, and I fall on the cusp. So my sun sign is Scorpio, but I fall on the cusp, so